Yeah, I was involved in the PTC. I was on the housing and homelessness subgroup, where we worked on some of the issues surrounding homelessness in West Cheshire and Chester.
About 40 months I've been in the PTC.
I was involved with it, and my role was the mental health subgroup.
Well, I did all three subgroups to start with, the mental health, homelessness and food poverty. But it got too much, so I've just been doing the food poverty, or the food banks, and now we've gone on to help out this Helping Hands on the Tuesday morning for people with anxiety and things where they can just drop in.
I'm a community inspirer as well, and I was also on the mental health and physical health subgroup.
I'm a member of the Health and Wellbeing Board, and I'm here to listen from the NHS.
I was involved in the PTC, and my role was to be a community inspirer and tell my story to help inspire others to prevent what's happened to me happening to other people. And I'm really glad that I could do that. So yeah, I am very much involved, and I'm glad that I'm going to be involved for the next year. This isn't just a closing event, it's a celebration event of things that are going to be happening in the near future and over the span of the next year. And I'm going to be working alongside all the other community inspirers to help come to terms with what is actually going to be happening. Because we had a meeting just recently regarding the fact that we thought that nothing was going to come of this, and we became very much aware that there is a lot of things that are going to come from this, and we're very happy about that. So yeah.
Yes, I was part of the PTC. I was asked to get involved as a business leader to help with the inspirers and to drive some change.
I was involved in the first PTC, and so I came to the closing event that we held for that a couple of years ago, and so I came along to this one, sort of a little bit of me thinking, oh, I wonder how they're doing in comparison to how we did, and actually I've been incredibly impressed with what they've done. I'd heard slightly about it from other people I've known involved with it through the food subgroup and also the mental health and wellbeing subgroup.
The one thing and the most important thing that I've learned is the importance of listening to people and really listening to what their stories are, and helping them providing an advocacy service to help them move forward. And help them to improve their lives for the better.
I've learnt again what I knew before, but it's been a good reminder that in fact listening to people, really listening to people and taking on board what they've got to say from their own lived experience is the most valuable thing any organisation or any agency can ever do, because it's all very well people behind desks having their ideas of how they're going to manage their organisation, but until you listen to the people who are day to day affected by those decisions, actually you can be missing a trick.
I've learned how good children are at getting stories across with very few words, because it's just amazing how the young voice, I think, just means a lot.
You work hard enough and you put your story out there, and you work alongside people that people can come together as a family and change the world drastically. And for me, that world is Cheshire and West Cheshire, and it's come from my background and my story, and I'm guessing for all of these people around me and that took part in it, that is their world too, and hopefully we'll be able to change the world one day.
I think what I've heard today is that thing about listening to understand rather than listening just to tell that person what you think they need. So I think that was something that came through time and time again, didn't it, in what we've heard today.
I've learned that it's going to continue in some form or another, which is what we all want really, and that's good to hear the promise from Louise Gittins about that continuing. So yeah, I think I've learned that from today.
It's really about realising and learning how we can better integrate services so that people are telling their stories, and that we're actually making sure that they can access the support that we know is there, and signposting them in the right place so that they get that.
I've learnt that there's so many people who are in poverty, and everybody seems to be on the same wavelength with what they want to do.
I get a lot of people that
when you say anything about it, they are really interested and they'd like to sort of carry on and help us.
Today, I guess the biggest message I would take away from today is the importance of networking and utilising what is available in the community. So the answer, some of the answers to the poverty problem is money and new things, but actually making best use of what we got. Different groups talking to each other, food banks, the supermarkets, the council and business working together, actually making best use of what we already do is a great way of solving the solution.
Oh, that's a massive question. I think it needs to change, attitude change for people at the top. They need to realise that people with lived experiences do have the key to change within their organisation, and those organisations need to listen, but not only listen, not just listen as in trying to pay lip service. They need to really embed those changes and those lived experiences into the day-to-day running of their organisation, but they need to be prepared to change as well.
A lot of things need to change. People need to change how they look at the world, really, how they consider other people. They need to go more away from rules and like process and things, and more along the lines of listening to people and listening to people's lived experiences and gathering information off that to help prevent things from happening in the future.
I think we have to do something different to improve the mental health and well-being of our young people, and that's what I think we're going to try and work together on, isn't
Definitely,
it?
yes. Yeah, we get a lot of young people that are presented with, mental health at a crisis point, and the services available to them are sometimes not suitable for what that young person needs. So I'm really looking forward to continuing this conversation and hopefully improving the way in which young people receive support around their mental health.
There needs to be a whole change of ethos from government, council, all organisations, corporations, businesses, housing associations, you name it, the church, locally and nationally, to place the listening to people's lived experience at the forefront before any decisions are made, before people go and sit behind closed doors and make strategies and things.
Proper funding from the government and the truth from them into all the different poverties.
Integration, need to work together better. We all need to play our part, but that means that we have to completely change the culture of how we work to make that happen. And there's a lot of work to be done, but I think everybody that here today is committed to doing that and really wants to see that sea change that we need to see.
There's a few of us that we've set up a mental health peer group, so we're getting people to come in and we'll be able to help them. So that's come from being with the Poverty Truth.
The government needs to change as a whole. They need to change how they work with people and how they impact people's lives. I think that is one place where we need to start from. That's really the problem, and the fact that we've actually got people to go forward to the government and actually speak to them and put our initial things that we are trying to focus on towards that, and they're actually coming back with things that could actually help change is amazing, to be honest. It's a good key starting point.
Poverty needs to change. It needs to be changed properly so it's gone forever.
I think awareness is one big piece, that actually a lot of people have fallen into poverty for reasons beyond their own control, where their support group's gone or they've lost their job, and therefore if people are aware that actually the majority of people who are in poverty are there not from choice of their own, that actually we will be able to provide better solutions.
Everybody here is committed, so we've got to get everybody who wasn't here committed as well, and that's the culture change. The messages, nobody can kind of argue that they're not the right messages. We just need to spread the word.
There's loads of things that need to change. I think the world just needs to change as a whole. People need to listen to people and care about each other, really. Not in a sense care about themselves, but more come together as a family. Yeah.
If I think about an emotional response, I was really sad sad when those young people said that we don't think we can change this in our own lifetime at school. We think what we're leaving behind is a legacy of other people. I thought if we can't change some of this now, I'd be really disappointed about that.
The young people that resonated with me the most.
I think everybody.
Yeah, I think their poems were really powerful, and also as a parent I've been in that situation. My kids have been in that situation, so it made me quite emotional watching that. But I think it's powerful, and what one of the children was saying was that they feel that the change is going to come too late for them, but we need to make sure that that doesn't happen, that change happens now and happens for the children that are in high schools now, not in the future, not as well as in the future, but not just in the future.
So I feel like I connected to the performance side of it a lot more than the political side, even though I am very connected to political views and stuff like that, and they come to my vocabulary, and I like talking in a political manner. The creative side of things is what I lead more towards. So yeah, I like that side of what happened today.
Personal stories, personal experiences, but again I think for me, even though I do predominantly work with adults, the young people's stories just made me think actually it's a lot wider. This issue is a lot wider. It doesn't start when people are adult and in difficulties, it starts at a very young age.
I think all the school children were fantastic.
I think the food subgroup resonated with me most because I'm vicar in Blacon, and we've been involved in thinking about how to address the whole business of food poverty, and so it was very powerful stuff. And what the kids had to say about the free school meals and queuing for the school canteen and things like that was just heartbreaking, actually. I had no idea what they had to go through.
It was so good, and that they've done everything themselves, haven't they?
Yeah,
brilliant.
It just proves that working in collaboration can be extremely powerful. It proves that if you listen to the people that are living and breathing the policies that are written, and you allow them to influence those policies, then you're definitely looking at a much brighter future as well.
Personal stories and recognising, having the lived experiences, recognising that in my own community in the course of my own work.
The young people, in terms of having someone being listened to, and I think the challenge not just for people like the Inspirers and the older generation who are in poverty, but actually young people will always struggle, whether they're in poverty or not, to get to be heard, and to actually see the kids stepping up and being able to articulate and we want to be heard, and then seeing the benefits of contributing and being heard was amazing.
The children were good, everybody was good. It was just, the feeling in the room was so good. Everybody was just there fighting for this same cause.